A glorious day here in Rome where history is being made today. You see the Vatican right there, St. Peter's Basilica. We are seeing the final hours of a living Pope, Benedict XVI, preparing now to leave the Vatican for the last time as Pope, the first Pope in almost 600 years to relinquish power and retire. There he is leaving the Vatican right now, accompanied by Secretary of State Cardinal Bertone. And he will walk out into the courtyard of San Damaso, where Swiss guards and the entire papal household is already arrayed to say farewell to their Pope. Pope moving slowly now, 8 years as Pope. Said he was retiring in part because he was no longer up to the physical, intellectual, and emotional demands of the job. And this farewell has been remarkably personal. The Pope yesterday in his general audience, speaking about both the joys and the burdens of that office. Earlier today, he said farewell one by one to the cardinals, 207 cardinals in all. Not all were there today. And now he is walking out into that courtyard for the last time, the final picture. That is the Secretary of State, Cardinal Bertone, who is right now walking right ahead of the Pope. The Swiss Guards, the oldest standing army in the world, protecting popes for 500 years. And the Pope now greeted by applause from members of his household. I'm joined here by Donald Cardinal Wuerl of Washington, D.C., who was in that audience with the Pope earlier today. You had the chance to say your own personal goodbye to the Pope.
I did. I had the opportunity, along with all the other cardinals, one by one, to go up and greet him and really just express great affection for him. And it was a very hard thing to say goodbye. The first thing that he said to me was, Washington, I remember my visit, because it was almost 5 years ago.
So personal, but the Pope also so conscious of the precedents he is setting, the history he is making right now. I was struck in those remarks to all of you where he pledged that reverence and obedience to the successor Pope.
Every bishop pledges that when he's named a bishop, that he will be obedient to the Holy Father. And the Holy Father is setting the example now. He is no longer going to be Pope, and he is pledging his loyalty to the new Pope. I thought it was a beautiful and touching.
It was beautiful, and Cokie Roberts, also here, longtime Vatican watcher as well. Everything here brand new. No one living has ever seen anything like this before.
Well, to say the words brand new and Vatican in the same breath are really quite remarkable in itself, but that is the case. Now, we've seen, of course, the ceremony and the Swiss Guard and all of that before, but the idea of a retiring Pope is totally unprecedented in hundreds of years, as you've said. And that's why, even though, as Cardinal Wuerl has said, these are words that every bishop says, it's very important for him to say them now.
Essential for him to say it. He's getting in that car right now. He'll be driven to a helipad on the Vatican grounds and then take a short 15-minute helicopter ride to the Castel Gandolfo, which is about the papal summer residence, the resort. President Gandolfo, excuse me, the Pope loves that place. I want to go to Ron Claiborne now, who is outside the courtyard of Castel Gandolfo right now. Ron, what is the scene there?
Well, George, about 2,000 or 3,000 people have been taking part in a silent prayer, preparing for the arrival of the Pope in about 20, 30 minutes from now. Many of these people are from local communities around here, the villages, including the one that I'm in here, Castel Gandolfo. It is here where history will be made in about half an hour, 2 hours from now, George. The Pope will be inside this Palacio here, the Pontifical Palace behind me. At the hour of 8 o'clock local time, he will officially cease being the pontiff. And at that moment, in what we expect to be a very dramatic development, the Swiss Guard, who are the Pope's official guards, will leave the front door there, that wooden door you see in front of the palace. And at that moment, Pope Benedict will become Pope Emeritus Benedict, no longer the leading figure in the Catholic Church, George.